Girl from the Mountain Cave. Book 1, The Whispering Caves. Chapter 1. The home carved by cold and courage. High in the ancient mountains, where clouds touched the earth and winds sang old forgotten songs, there lived a little girl named Amara. She lived with her grandmother, whom everyone lovingly called Party, inside a cave carved into the side of a silver-grey cliff. It was not a dark cave like the ones travelers feared. Party had shaped it with her own hands, year after year, stone by stone, until it felt like a warm cradle tucked inside the cold-hearted mountain. The walls curved gently, holding echoes of laughter, lullabies, and the crackling of fire that burned every night. For as long as Amara remembered, it had always been just the two of them. Her parents were stories carried in Party's voice, soft, trembling memories that lived only in moonlit moments. The mountain was their only home now. But they were not completely alone. Scattered along the ridges and valleys were a handful of other families, kind faces, calloused hands, and hearts stitched together by the same wound. War had taken everything from them. Once they had lived in a vibrant village in the lowlands, filled with music, festival lanterns, and fields that danced golden under the sun. But the sound of drums was replaced by explosions, the laughter of children replaced by screams. Smoke took the skies, fear took their land, so they climbed, higher and higher, up into the cold spine of the world. And there, using nothing but determination and tools carved from fallen stones, they dug small caves. Tiny shelters at first, but slowly, patiently, transformed into homes. Each family carved their own corner into the mountain, yet they remained close, like threads of the same broken cloth stitching themselves together again. Their life was simple, quiet, peaceful, a peace earned with loss, but protected with love. They grew vegetables, potatoes, herbs, corn, on little terraces of soil. Party nurtured like fragile children. Everybody shared what they had. Nobody ever went hungry, even on harsh days. A gentle mountain stream ran nearby, its icy song echoing softly at dawn. Amara fetched the water each morning, filling clay pots while her hands turned numb from the cold. At night, Party lit the oil lamp, its tiny flame dancing against the cave walls, and the wood fire crackled proudly, keeping the frost from climbing into their blankets. The mountains were always cold, but winter was a beast of its own. A beast that growled through the wind, biting at fingers and toes, testing their strength every night. Yet Amara never felt afraid during these winters. She had Party, and Party had courage thicker than the mountain walls. Every few days, the old woman walked miles across the ridges to tend to the farmer's sheep. The flock grazed on a hidden meadow where the sun touched the grass, even on the coldest days. In return for her help, the farmer gave her a small sack of flour, or a handful of rice, or some onions and carrots, or fluffy sheep's wool soft as clouds. Amara always went with Party on these journeys. Those days were her favorite. Party would take her hand, press it warmly, and say, "Come, Kana, the sheep are waiting, the mountains are calling." Then they would walk together, two figures against the vast sky. The wind tugged at Party's grey hair, and Amara skipped over rocks, humming songs she invented on the spot. The sheep always recognized Party. They walked toward her as though she carried the voice of safety in her spine. Amara giggled as woolly bodies brushed against her legs. Those moments felt like magic, as though the mountains themselves had blessed them with a small pocket of happiness. But neither Amara nor Party knew that everything was about to change. Their quiet life in the caves, built with struggle, held together by love, was only the beginning of a much larger journey. A journey that would test their courage, reveal long-buried secrets, and lead Amara toward a destiny she never imagined. Chapter 2. The tremor beneath the silence continued. The next morning, Amara woke before the sun. A pale blue light rested over the mountains like a thin blanket, and the cold air nipped playfully at her cheeks. She stretched, pulled on her woolen shawl, and stepped out of the cave. Down below, the forests were still dark, resting under the watch of fading stars. But high above, the mountain peaks glowed faintly, as though they remembered yesterday's sunlight and were quietly holding on to it. Amara closed her eyes and listened. Wind, birdsong, and something else, a faint hum. It was soft, so soft she first thought she imagined it. But no, it was there, drifting from the deeper parts of the cave, from tunnels she and Party rarely explored. A sound like a whispering lullaby. Her heartbeat quickened. Could it be the caves again? The same voices she dreamed about? Amara. Party's voice came from behind her. Amara turned. Her grandmother stood in the doorway, wrapped in a thick shawl, her silver hair tied back. Her eyes, though warm, held a gentle alertness, as if she, too, had heard something unusual. "You felt it, didn't you?" Party asked softly. Amara swallowed. "Party, there's a sound, a humming, like the rocks are singing." Party nodded. "The mountains speak when they need to be heard." She stepped closer, placing a reassuring hand on Amara's shoulder. "Long ago," Party continued, "the Whispering Caves protected our people. They warned us of storms, guided lost travelers, and kept secrets safe. But they do not call to just anyone, my child." Amara's breath caught. She had always felt connected to the mountains, ever since she was little. Their wind soothed her, their stone felt warm beneath her palms, and their silence somehow comforted her more than the chatter of nearby villages. But this was different. "Party, why would they call me?" Party smiled, but there was heaviness beneath her smile. "Because your heart listens," she whispered, "and because the mountains have chosen you." Before Amara could reply, a sudden gust of wind roared between the cliffs, scattering dust and tiny snowflakes into the air. The sky darkened as clouds began gathering in spirals, twisting like a warning finger pointed downward. Amara gasped. "A storm? A strange one," Party murmured, her voice tightening. "The winds are confused, frightened. The humming from the caves deepened, no longer gentle but urgent." Amara felt it vibrate in her bones. "Party, I think the caves are trying to tell us something." "Yes," Party said, "but we must be careful. The Whispering Caves can guide, but they can also test." The wind shrieked again, louder than before. A flock of mountain crows burst from the trees below, scattering in every direction. Even the earth beneath their feet trembled slightly. Party looked into the darkening sky, her jaw set with sudden decision. "Amara, listen to me. Today, you must not leave my side. The mountains are shifting, and something old has awakened." Amara's mind raced with fear and curiosity. "Awakened? What do you mean?" Party did not answer immediately. Instead, she took Amara's hand, squeezed it tightly, and whispered, "The storm is not just weather. It is a message." Amara felt her heartbeat echo the strange humming of the caves. Then we should listen." Party looked at her, really looked, her eyes filled with both love and worry. "Yes," she said, "we will. But listening to the mountains always comes with a price." A crack of thunder split the sky, echoing through the cliffs. The Whispering Caves began to glow. Just faintly, just enough for Amara to know. Her life was about to change forever. Chapter 3. The First Glow of the Whispering Caves. The storm did not wait. Dark clouds spun fast around the mountain peaks, growling like ancient beasts waking from long rest. The wind turned sharp and cold, as if warning anyone who dared to stand outside for too long. Amara clung to Party's hand as they slipped back into the cave. But just as Party reached for a torch, another pulse of light flickered deep inside the mountain, pale, blue, and alive. Amara froze. "Party, the caves are glowing." Party swallowed hard. "I hoped this day would come later." Much later, the light grew brighter, washing the walls in a soft, shimmering haze. It wasn't firelight. It wasn't sunlight. It felt like the mountain itself was breathing. Amara stepped forward without meaning to. Something, some invisible thread, pulled her toward the deeper tunnels. Party placed a hand on her shoulder, stopping her. "Amara, wait." "But it's calling," Amara whispered. "I know," Party said. "That is why you cannot go alone." They walked together into the inner passage, their footsteps echoing softly. The air grew warmer, and the walls seemed to pulse gently, as though they were alive. The humming started again, stronger now, clearer, and underneath it, something else, a faint melody, a song, like a voice calling Amara's name from somewhere far, far within. "Party, do you hear it?" Party nodded but said nothing. Her grip tightened. They reached a wide chamber where the ceiling dripped with stone crystals. Usually these crystals sparkled faintly when light touched them. But now, they glowed on their own, pale blue, like frozen moonlight. Amara's breath trembled. "It's beautiful." Party, however, did not smile. Beauty can be a warning. Across the room, one crystal glowed brighter than the rest. It pulsed softly, bright, dim, like a heartbeat. Amara walked toward it, drawn by an invisible pull. Her palm hovered an inch from its surface. "Amara, don't touch." Too late. Her fingers brushed the glowing crystal. A shock of warmth spread through her hand, racing up her arm. She gasped, but it didn't hurt. It felt familiar, like stepping into sunshine after a long winter. Then, flash, a burst of blue-white light filled the chamber. Amara staggered back, blinded. The ground trembled beneath her feet. The humming grew into a roar, swirling around her like a storm inside the stone. "Amara!" Party cried, reaching for her. But the crystal had already spoken. Images flashed before Amara's eyes, too quick to understand. A distant mountain engulfed in mist, a shadowy creature with glowing eyes, a river turning black, a young girl, herself, standing before an enormous stone door, a voice whispering through the visions, "Find the heart of the mountain before the darkness finds you." The light snapped away. Amara collapsed into Party's arms, gasping for breath. "Child!" Party held her close, voice shaking. "What did you see?" Amara tried to speak, her throat dry and tight. I saw something is coming, Party, something dangerous." The ground trembled again. A deep, rumbling sound echoed from the mountain's core, so slow, so powerful that dust fell from the ceiling. Party steadied her. "We must leave the deeper tunnels. Now." "But, Party," Amara said, trembling. The voice said to find the heart of the mountain. Party stopped walking. Her face changed. Fear, recognition, and something like sorrow. "The heart of the mountain," she repeated quietly. Then the stories were true. A loud crack echoed through the cave. The crystal lights flickered. Party took Amara's hand again. "We must prepare," she whispered. "For the journey, for the danger, and for the truth you were never told." Amara shivered as they hurried back toward the entrance, the echoes of the strange message following her like footsteps. "Find the heart of the mountain before the darkness finds you." Outside, the winds howled louder. Inside, the caves hummed with warning, and deep within her chest, Amara felt something new stirring. A spark of destiny. Chapter 4, Party's Secret. The storm raged through the night. Winds screamed against the cliffs, snow tore across the sky like white fire, and the mountains groaned as if remembering old battles. But inside their small cave, Amara and Party sat by the fire, wrapped in thick blankets. Party added one more log to the flames. It crackled softly, but her hands trembled. Amara had never seen Party afraid, not even once. "Party," she whispered, "what did the cave mean? What is the heart of the mountain?" Party closed her eyes. For a long moment she didn't answer. Then, in a voice soft and heavy with memory, she said, "You deserve the truth, Kana. I have hidden it for too long." Amara sat straighter. Party stared into the flames. "Years ago," she began, "before you were born, before the war chased us into these mountains, the land was protected by the guardians of the Heartstone." Amara frowned. "Heartstone? Party nodded. It is a very old power, older than kingdoms, older than the first songs of the wind. It lies deep within these mountains, hidden in a place only the mountains themselves can reveal. Her voice dropped to a whisper. The heart of the mountain. Amara felt her chest tighten. Party, were you a guardian? Party's eyes softened, mourning mixed with pride. Yes. Amara's breath caught. You see, Party continued, the caves that glowed today, they are part of the Whispering Path. They awaken only when danger rises, or when the next guardian begins to hear them. The fire sputtered. Amara's heartbeat quickened. The next guardian, she whispered. Party lifted a trembling hand to Amara's cheek. Her voice broke. It's you, Amara. Silence fell like snow. Amara blinked, confused. Me? Party, I'm just... me. I fetch water. I play with sheep. I don't have powers. You touch the crystal, Party said. And the mountain answered. That has not happened in 50 years. Amara shook her head. But I don't know anything. I don't know how to protect anyone. Party leaned forward, holding both of Amara's hands now. Kana, the mountain chose you long before today. Another rumble echoed from deep within the stone, distant but unmistakable. Amara felt a cold shiver crawl up her spine. Party, what danger is coming? Party's jaw tightened. She looked toward the cave entrance, where the storm pressed like a living beast. There is a shadow awakening, she whispered. A creature once locked away by the first guardians. It feeds on fear and darkness. The war that destroyed our village. It was only the beginning. Amara felt her chest twist painfully. And now it's coming here? Party nodded. Unless we reach the heart of the mountain first. Amara swallowed hard. Will you come with me? Party hesitated, and in that hesitation, Amara's stomach dropped. Party? The old woman's eyes filled with quiet sorrow. I will guide you as far as I can, she said softly. But the final path, only the chosen one may walk. Amara's throat tightened. I don't want to do it alone. Party pulled her into a warm embrace, holding her as though she could protect her from fate itself. You won't be alone, she whispered. The mountain watches, the light watches, and I will be with you for every step. Until the mountain no longer permits me to go. Amara closed her eyes as tears slipped free. Outside the storm grew louder, angry, impatient, echoing through the cliffs. Inside, the fire crackled gently against the heavy truth that now lived between them. A journey waited. A destiny awakened, and time was running out. Chapter 5. The Path That Opens Only Once. The storm faded by morning, leaving the mountains wrapped in a quiet, icy stillness. Snow glittered on every surface, tree branches, stone ledges, even the roofs of the small caves where the other families lived. But Amara didn't notice any of it. Her mind replayed the vision from the crystal again and again, the misty mountain, the glowing eyes, the stone door waiting in the dark. Party handed her a bowl of hot porridge, but Amara only stared at it. Kana, Party said gently, eat. Your strength is your first weapon. Amara forced a few spoonfuls down. Her stomach twisted with a strange mix of fear and something else. Something she didn't want to name yet. Party, she whispered. When do we leave? Party paused, setting her bowl aside. The firelight caught the lines on her face, making her look older, more fragile than Amara had ever seen her. We leave before sunrise tomorrow. Tomorrow. Amara's breath froze. So soon? The mountain is waking, Party said, and when it wakes fully, the Whispering Path will reveal itself. It opens only once every generation. If we miss it... She didn't need to finish. Amara nodded, her pulse thundering in her ears, and that's when the knock came. A hurried, panicked knock. Party's eyes narrowed. She motioned for Amara to stay behind her and opened the cave door just a crack. It was Silan, the shepherd from the ridge, the one with the deep laugh and sunburned nose. But today, his face was pale. Eldra, he whispered, using Party's guardian name from long ago. It's the sheep. Something attacked them. Party stiffened. What kind of something? Silan shook his head, trembling. I don't know. I only saw the aftermath. 2 sheep missing. The rest terrified. Their prints led to the Shadow Ravine. Party inhaled sharply, the kind of breath taken when a fear becomes real. Take us, she said. Amara grabbed her cloak and followed, ignoring Party's silent shake of the head, telling her to stay. Party didn't argue this time. Perhaps she already knew Amara needed to see what lay ahead. The ravine, the Shadow Ravine, was a place even the wind avoided. Dark stone cliffs dipped sharply downward, forming a deep, narrow cut through the mountain like a wound. The 3 of them stepped onto the ridge above it. Amara's heart dropped. Tracks. Deep, heavy ones. Not sheep, not wolf, not anything she knew. They were large, too large, shaped like claws dragging through the snow. Silan swallowed hard. I've never seen prints like these. Party knelt and touched the ground. Her fingers brushed the icy trail. Warm. Not just warm. Hot, as though the creature had burned the snow as it passed. Malaith, Party whispered. Amara's stomach twisted. What's that? Party stood slowly. It means Shadowborn, a creature forged from fear itself. Silan stepped back. You mean the legends were true? Party's eyes didn't leave the tracks. Yes, and if the Malaith has awakened... She looked toward Amara, voice trembling for the first time. Then the darkness is no longer waiting. It is already searching. A cold wind rushed past them, carrying with it a low, distant sound. Not an echo, not a howl, but something like a breath drawn in hunger. Amara shuddered. Party, it's looking for me, isn't it? Party didn't answer. Her silence said everything. The decision. They returned to the cave as the sun dipped behind the peaks, turning the sky into a pale purple bruise. Party packed quietly. Warm clothes, dried herbs, dried fruit, her carved wooden staff, a piece of glowing stone wrapped in cloth. Amara sat on her blanket, hands trembling. Party, she whispered. What if I fail? Party stopped packing. Kneeling before her, she cupped Amara's face in her palms. You are not chosen because you are perfect, Kana. She pressed her forehead gently to Amara's. You are chosen because your heart listens. Tears filled Amara's eyes. Party hugged her tightly. When the whispering path opens tomorrow, she said, we step onto it together, but where does it lead? Amara asked. Party's answer came like a soft wind. To the heart of the mountain, to the secrets that shaped your destiny, and to the darkness that wants to claim it. Amara inhaled shakily, but nodded. Tomorrow. Her life in the warm cave, her days with the sheep, the quiet mornings by the stream, would all become memories. Because the mountain had called, and she could no longer pretend she didn't hear it. Chapter 6. The Truth Revealed. Amara had never seen Party look so serious. The old woman's hands trembled slightly as she held Amara's small ones. Kana, Party began, her voice heavy with sorrow. There is something you must know. Something I have carried with me for a long time. Amara's brows furrowed. What is it, Party? Party's eyes filled with tears. Your parents, they were taken from this world in the war. You were only a few days old when it happened. I promised them I would keep you safe, and I have, Kana. The words landed like jagged stones in Amara's chest. For a moment, she could not breathe. Her mind swirled with disbelief, grief, and anger. They're gone? She whispered, her voice cracking. Party nodded. Yes, but their love lives in you. You are their heart, their memory, their hope. Amara sank to the floor, tears streaming. For the first time, she felt the full weight of the life she had been spared, but also the loss she could never reclaim. Chapter 7. Shadows of Grief. For days, Amara wandered through the terraces and caves, silent and withdrawn. The once comforting whispers of the mountains seemed distant, and even the sparkling crystals in the cave looked cold to her eyes. Party tried to comfort her, sitting beside her during the long nights. Kanna, grief is not weakness. It is the mountain teaching you to feel deeply. Let it flow through you, and you will learn to bend, not break. But Amara could barely hear her. Every glance at the empty horizon reminded her of the family she had never known, the world she had been denied. She began to question everything: why she survived, why she was alone, why the mountain had chosen her at all. The cold wind that once seemed friendly now bit sharply at her skin, as if echoing her inner sorrow. Chapter 8. The Mountain Calls. One night, as Amara sat near the edge of a cliff, staring at the endless mountains, Party spoke softly. The mountain has always been calling you, Kanna. From the moment you were born, it whispered to your soul. Amara shook her head. But why? I am only a girl. I have nothing. No one but you. Party placed her hand over Amara's heart. Because you are the chosen one, born to teach others, to guide them through their own lessons of life and karma. Your journey is greater than you yet know, and the mountain will show you the way. That night, Amara dreamed vividly. She walked through forests of golden light. Rivers sang her name, and mountains rose to meet her. She felt a pull deep within her chest, a calling she could not ignore. Chapter 9. First Trials. The next morning, Party led Amara to the first of many trials. Each challenge will test you, Kanna. Not just your body, but your heart and mind. Only by facing them can you awaken what is within. Amara climbed jagged cliffs, navigated icy streams, and learned to read the whispers of the wind. Sometimes she failed and fell, scraping her hands and knees. Sometimes she grew frustrated, ready to give up. But Party's wisdom guided her. Pain teaches, fear warns, and patience strengthens. Learn from all three. By the end of each day, Amara lay by the fire, exhausted, yet feeling a spark of something new: connection, strength, and courage growing in her chest. Chapter 10. Connecting with Nature. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, Amara began to sense the life around her in ways she had never noticed. The flow of water in the stream pulsed like a heartbeat. Crystals embedded in the cave walls shimmered in response to her touch. Trees bent slightly, leaves whispering secrets in the wind. The mountain felt alive. Amara could feel its pulse in her own heartbeat, and for the first time, she felt a deep connection with something eternal. Party smiled as she watched. The mountain speaks to those who listen, Kanna. And you are beginning to hear. Chapter 11. Passing Wisdom. Party began to teach more than survival. Meditation and listening to the silence, understanding cause and effect, karma, patience, kindness, courage, and humility. Amara learned that power alone was meaningless. It needed heart and truth to guide it. She practiced daily, sitting by streams, whispering to the mountains, touching the crystals and feeling the mountain respond to her presence. Party often reminded her, wisdom is not just knowledge, it is knowing when to act and when to wait, when to speak and when to be still. You are learning to become more than a girl, Amara. You are becoming a guardian. Chapter 12. Shadows of the Past. But not all was easy. At night, Amara faced visions. Her parents, smiling, then vanishing. The war, the screams, the fire. Doubts of whether she was strong enough. The mountain mirrored her fears. Crystals glowed dimly. Shadows twisted unnaturally in the cave. Party guided her through each vision. Face it, Kana. Grief and fear are part of you, but they are not all of you. Embrace them, and they will make you stronger. Slowly, Amara began to understand. Her grief was a bridge to her purpose. Pain could teach her empathy, courage could grow from sorrow, and her heart could become a guiding light. Chapter 13. Awakening the Guardian. One morning, while sitting atop a high ridge, Amara felt the mountain pulse beneath her feet. She closed her eyes, letting the energy flow into her. Crystals glowed in her palms. The wind lifted her hair like a blessing. Streams of water sparkled as if acknowledging her presence. For the first time, she felt power coursing through her. Not just magic, but purpose. She was the chosen one. The guardian the mountain had called into being. Pati placed a hand on her shoulder. You are ready to step further, Kana. The mountain is yours to learn from and to protect. Chapter 14. Heart of the Mountain. Amara reached the mystical chamber at the mountain's core. Crystals of every hue rose from the ground, filling the chamber with a living light. Pati guided her to kneel. The mountain speaks to those who are ready. Amara felt the heart crystal pulse in harmony with her own heartbeat. She saw visions, herself teaching, guiding and healing others, sharing karmic lessons with those who needed it most. The mountain whispered to her soul, you are the guardian. You are the bridge between loss and wisdom, pain and purpose. Embrace your heart, Amara, and your light will guide others. Tears flowed freely as she understood her destiny, and for the first time, she felt complete. Chapter 15. The Guardian Stands. A shadow lurked at the chamber's edge, a test, a remnant of fear, grief and doubt. Amara stepped forward, holding the heart crystal high. I am Amara, guardian of the mountain. I will protect this place and those who call it home. The shadow shrieked, striking at her, but the light from the crystal, infused with her courage and truth, repelled it. Pati smiled. You have awakened, Kana. The mountain's heart flows through you now. But remember, the shadow will return, always, and so will your trials. But you are ready. Amara looked around the glowing chamber, feeling the pulse of the mountain in her chest. I am ready, she whispered. The mountain hummed approval. The guardian had been born. End of Book 1.